this is a lead meeting. We had someone scheduled and something come up and they couldn't make it tonight. So I have another friend that volunteered that he would do it. And with that, I'm going to give you my friend Wes.
That's why I'm going to stand behind this. I'm going to sit down in the chair up here. Is that all right?
That's fine.
My name is Wes and I'm an alcoholic. So I haven't had a long time to plan out and write an outline for this. And, I don't have the opening, inspirational reading or the closing inspirational reading or planned out the little snippet that you'll remember 2 years from now. I don't have any of that. So I'm just going to tell you how I stay sober today. And what some highlights of the journey. It's been a long journey. I'm now 76 years old. So they're still treading on the tires, but they have some wear. And the other reason I'm sitting down here, other than being comfortable, I'm tired. I've been up since 2:30 this morning. Because my stomach was upset, so I got up and I'd gone to bed at 8:30. So I thought, well, might as well make a pot of coffee and clean the house. So that's what I did. And then did a couple of things in the yard and mowed the grass and picked up leaves. Cut down plants and raked them into the grass and picked them up with the mower. So, a little more than I should have probably. I'm grateful that I can, at 76, I can still do all this stuff. I'm grateful every day. Yeah, I think that's what's going to keep me going. Accepting the way things are, accepting who I am, although I haven't quit the hunt for who is this guy, because there's more mining to do. So, I guess I'll give you a few facts. Mom and Dad are from, my dad's from Mendon, my mom's from Mercer, big towns. I'm the son of John Protzman and Ruth Lemonian Protzman. I'm the brother to two brothers and brother to two sisters. I'm right smack in the middle. I have all the problems of the middle child. I was ignored. Oh, pity me, oh, pity me. I was trained at, I wasn't trained at toilet trained, I was pee pot trained.
I know that.
Well, I just made it up. But there are a lot of things that were wrong, dysfunctional family in this respect, dysfunctional family in that respect. But I had two parents who took care of us, who loved us. And my dad was always in this way, just sometimes. And my mother was the same. But she had her own character thought she was punishing you with silence. That was, you know, she was one of those. She was really mad at you. She wouldn't speak to you for a week. So that's, I grew up in St. Mary's. You know, I couldn't, my dad, Aunt, nor my other older brother ever spent any time with me teaching me how to throw and catch a ball or any kind of round object. And I remained totally inept. If it came to sports, I didn't know what I was doing. And I had no reflexes, I had no hand-eye coordination. It's hopeless. At this point in my life, it is hopeless. I'm not going to learn to be a good baseball player at this age. I'm not going to learn to play the piano. I no longer think that if I really put my mind to it, I could learn to speak French. That's not going to happen. So, I did, though, find out early that in St. Mary's, I was one of the smartest kids in the school. So, at some point, I was never as good as being a jock, but by the time we were seniors, it was pretty good competition, actually. And I got a scholarship to go to college. And, I did a few things, wandered around in the woods, you know, like Israelites in the desert or something. And then I ended up being a management consultant. And people, at the end of my career, the discounted rate at my last client, they were paying $636 an hour to have me on site. And paying my hotel and flying me in and flying me home. And so, but in my family history, you can find alcoholics. I think anybody that's in these rooms, if they investigate, it's either parents, aunts and uncles, grandpa, somebody else in the family left a legacy for you. It's not predestination or something, you know, it's a predisposition. It's, if you don't watch out, we know what's going to happen to you. So, when I could understand that, that helped me to surrender, because I'm not a bad person. I inherited some bad genes, you know, and then I made some bad choices, because that wouldn't have been a problem until I started sucking on a bottle. Then it became a big problem. I was a pretty good functional alcoholic. I was a daily drinker for 20 years. And I got away with it for, not at home, but on the job. I never lost a job because of it, not directly. Not that I didn't lose a job. But I was told early on in my career as a management consultant, if you're not fired at least once, you haven't been taking any risks. And the only way you do really well is take risks. So everybody gets fired once. I don't think that's true, but it was good. It was a good story to tell you've been fired. But I wasn't out of work very long. Somebody I worked with before was a boss in a previous job. Got me on where he was over there as a contractor. Got me $200 an hour. Got and friends, did for me what I couldn't do for myself, and so as I said, I got away with it, and it would, if I had gone to treatment or had a hospital stay for detox, that would have ended my career. Would have been, if I went to HR and said, I need to go to treatment, yeah, we can't fire you. That would be illegal. But we can sit you over there in the corner and treat you like shit till you leave. And we will. And I saw it happen. Saw it happen the other way. Luckily, I avoided it. God knows how. I have no idea. But it came to a point where, sometimes I say, I started drinking for a couple of reasons. Drinking to excess. I like the effect. I always like to get drunk. That was fun. Leave parts of you behind. Forget. Convince yourself you can dance. When you actually really can't. That's what you say, you let down the inhibitions, you do what you didn't think you could do, you still actually couldn't do it, but now you don't care. And then there was pain. And then there was things that didn't go right. And then there was, I married the wrong goddamn woman. And, that eventually almost killed me. But that's its own story, and that's not tonight's story. But, so, I drank to cover up that which I didn't want to think about, that which was reality, and I didn't want to see, that which was disrespect that I didn't want to tolerate. So I did. So I drank and I forgot about it for a while. But it was always there the next day. Didn't solve anything. And finally, I got to the point where an honest appraisal is that you are now addicted to alcohol. You cannot, on your own, recover from this, period. Full stop. You now are a full-blown alcoholic, and you have to drink every day or you're going to go into withdrawal, and you'll have shakes, and you'll be obviously impaired when you're not drinking. I never got to the point where I had to drink in the morning before I went to work. I just had to be careful about what I ate at lunch, because by that time I couldn't eat soup. I was a few years before I put it down. So I got, make adjustments, accommodations. It's not going to hurt. Other people say, one of the most important things is, for an alcoholic, make sure you have your supply. I did that. So, this program, working this program, and being a part of this fellowship, and having other people help me in a pinch, clearly, saved my life. Twice. When I had 15 years of sobriety, I was decided for some reason that I thought I should go do some more research. And I had 7 relapses in 2 years. I detoxed at home by myself each and every time. I do not recommend that. It's medically dangerous. But I did it. It was not fun. It was worse every time. Every detox was worse than the previous one. Consistently, without exception. So, and at the end, it involved hallucinations, complete loss of balance. I thought there were critters in my fireplace. I thought my sonar system had a kink somewhere because there was still music playing, even though nothing was supposed to be playing. It got bad. It would be a week before I could before I could stand and take in the bathtub and take a shower, because I couldn't not fall down. It took a week to be able to not fall down. So let's go through my experience with the steps. Step 1 is powerless over alcohol. Yeah, everybody knows, we all know our lives are manageable when we got here. Duh. We're to come here if they're manageable. There's a lot of places I want to be. But powerless, what does powerless mean? Powerless means, I think, a lot of different things. It's pretty individual. I got powerless if I have even one drink, I loose the beast. And every cell in my body craves alcohol, give it a taste, and they go, oh yay! Wes is falling off the wagon, okay, let's have a party. Let's have more. So, abstinence is the only remission there is. So, yeah, I clearly understand I'm powerless, and for some reason it took some remedial training for me to completely understand that. Or I wouldn't have gone back out. It wasn't, this program is simple. This is one of the problems I had with it. I wanted to figure out, I didn't know where to step until I knew what I was going to get out of it, or how you could do it wrong 3 ways so I could avoid that. Now, I can overthink anything. So, it took me a while. But I was learning things all the time, listening to other people's stories, and I had a great sponsor until he committed the ultimate sin and died. Bill Flynn, why did you do that to me? But I'd still be talking to him every week if he were still here. But it took me a long time to understand that I really was insane. Like the risks I took, the things that I got away with, the stupid shit I did, and then the character defects. I have often said, anybody in this program, I believe, can stay dry sober as they don't want to take a drink, the compulsion has been lifted, and they're not going to take something real strange would have to happen for them to take a drink. You can get to that just with the first 3 steps. You can surrender. I made a decision. I turned my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand it. That's a big task. That's a big change. But if you can do that, you can get up in the morning and ask for another day of sobriety. You can go to bed at night and thank God for another day of sobriety. You can get by. But then there's, why did you think it was a good idea to be a drunk in the first place? What was it you were covering up? What was the pain you didn't think you could tolerate and you just wanted oblivion instead? Well, that's where you start working the 4th step. Scared the shit out of me, I'll tell you. But that started for me a process of change. Yeah. Real change. The 6th and 7th steps, I can talk about it. Do I really understand them? No. It's like, it'll get better steps. I think. Ask God and take away your character defects. Humbly ask Him. Think about it and then ask Him. Okay. I can do that. And, but I have to figure out what they are. And sometimes that can be hard. Other people in the rooms will interact with me, will kindly sometimes point out my defects when they're obvious. But most of the time not, actually. But they help me understand and can be a mirror that I can look into. So it's one of the reasons I keep coming to meetings, because I'm going to learn something about myself as well as something about somebody else. Oh yeah, I got that one too. Huh. Hot damn, I got another defect. I didn't count like that one. That's like finding a rare butterfly, isn't it? So, you can find it that way. In my program, the point of paying attention to the 8th and 9th step is learning to forgive with the hope that one day I'll be fully able to forgive myself for what I did, what I didn't do, what I should have done. I don't think there's another way to get there. That's maybe one of the most powerful parts of this program. And like I said, I could tell you the story of my marriage. It would be a very good book. I don't have the ability to write that book. I can make it a bestseller. This is a really good story. Got a lot of intrigue, a lot of betrayal, a lot of, goes back a couple generations. You could decorate it. And I could be the victim of it all. But that's not going to give me anything except dwelling in the land of miseries and war. I don't know, just let it go. And I have gotten to the point can recognize the truth of a couple of statements. I've been married to the same woman for 51 years and I still love her. And that was the stupidest thing I ever did. But I've gotten to the point where I forgive her. And the benefit of forgiving her isn't to her, and she doesn't give a shit. But the benefits all accrues to me. And that was a big hurdle to get over. And then if, with the training of all those steps, 10, 11, and 12 is, let's see if you can keep it going. How do you live to keep it going? How do you live a life that's satisfying enough to you that there's no way you're going to try to escape it or forget it. You're just going to live in it and be happy. That's the point, isn't it? Can I live a life where that's consistent with God's purpose for me? Why did you put me here? Why did he make humans to begin with? What is life? I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole pretty deep. There's so little we know. You got a line of song every day. I'm sure I know for sure just a little bit less. Exceptions, there's always exceptions. There you go. What do we know for sure? There's even the scientists, there's a guy with the term Heisenberg, but this is still true in particle physics today. He said, at some point, since you're managing the environment in which these particles you're finding exist, at some point, you're making the environment that you're building and calling it nature. There's a point at which the act of looking further into the darkness means you see darkness. And that's it. There's only so far you can go. I'm not God and I'm never going to be. And today I've let that go. So, hey, I've got more time yet. But I don't think I need it. I think I need another cup of coffee, so I'm going to stop here. That's all I got.
Thanks, Wes.
Well, thanks again, Wes. Good lead. I've heard you a few times before, and I guess we all kind of start off with the intention that drinking is going to be fun, and we're having good times. But for most of us, somewhere along the line, something changed, and and for me, what changed was everything, and and I didn't like where alcohol took me, but I couldn't get out of it. But I'm sober today, and very grateful. So it's customary to pass it around for comment. I'll just open up the floor. If anyone has any comments, jump right in.
My name's Tom Alcoholic. You talked about the first step and how you still learn when you come to meetings and stuff. The first step, when you talked about the first step, I just, nice, thing wrong. When I did my first step, I admitted I was powerless over alcohol, which means that once I take a drink, I don't have the power to stop. And then the second part of the first step is making my life unmanageable, is because I pushed everybody in my life away from me. I had nobody. I was alone. And that was my first step when I got here. And thanks for bringing that back for me. Thanks, Wes.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm Jared, I call it.
And Jared.
I just want to say thanks, Wes, I appreciate that tonight. Appreciate you leading, thank you. I'm sure.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
Well, you know, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Wayne.
I want to thank you. Wayne, alcoholic.
Wayne.
Wes, I want to thank you for your lead there. Yeah, one thing that jumped out at me is the dumb shit I did when I was drinking. I'm on that same list. Yeah, I did a lot of drinking and driving, and you didn't lose your job, you know, and I didn't kill anybody or myself, thank God. I don't know how that didn't happen, but I remember when I first found these rooms, this was the first meeting I came to, and I think you were the chairman of the group, and I was scared and nervous coming to my first meeting, and I remember you coming up to me, and you were so welcoming, and made me really feel comfortable and want to come back, so thanks for your leading. Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Okay, hey, I'm Jody, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Jody.
Thank you so much, Wes, for stepping up. Really appreciate it. So, there was this Wes that I knew, and he had 15 years of sobriety. And I really enjoyed that person, and I loved him. And I would have never in my life suggested to him that he should go pick up a tree and relax.
And you're another year older, and you're still around. But at that time, you was talking about the car, the transmission went out, and you have to go and get a new car. You're on fixed income, like most retired people, and just, you must have drank your money away, because it sounded like you had some good paying jobs or somewhere.
Got it all.
Okay, whatever, but you was kind of worried about that. My thoughts were that we should just get a couple of bottles of vodka there and see if that will fix it. We decided that would probably make things worse. I just remember that first meeting with you. It's been great having you as a friend for the last year. Enjoy seeing you at meetings. You have a lot of wisdom. Your experience, strength, and hope is great, so with that, I'll pass.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al. Anybody else got any comments? Well, I think that's probably about it. We have a real neat way of closing, so if you will close this meeting with the Lord's Prayer. Wes, you want to lead us?
Who keeps us sober?
Our
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. Keep back, we're working,
Get out of working.
Skip those and did it.
He must be up over there. Oh, we don't say the wrong.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Hey, thanks, Jim. Hey, take care of you well, buddy.
Take care.
Get well.
We're meeting plants and then cut them off at the ground with, shears, whatever you call those, like we chose bush with. And, we got this old time, I think they call it a spring rake. And it's really good at just catching stuff. So I raked all the cut off plants out into the grass and then I mowed them. In the process, I picked up all the leaves. Also raked the leaves out of the flower beds.
It's about time you did that, Wes.
Until I had time to get out the blower and get them all, but I got a lot of them. I'm keeping up with them.
Good.
And I trimmed the last the last 4 rose bushes. They have 15 rose bushes.
Cut them way back, don't you? Cut them back. And,
Yeah. You can cut them back in the fall or in the spring, but mostly I started early with cutting everything back because whatever I have up catches leaves. Everything catches leaves. So if it was just all cut off the ground, what would be the best thing? Can't do that with the roses. So there's the step, 2 or 3 times in the spring. I'll keep blowing in. I'll have to put on my other gloves and get in there and try to get the leaves out. The bigger fender in my neighborhood is we got one of my neighbors has crumble.
Yeah,
They won't crumble.
My brother has cottonwood, and them are the same way, they're like a piece of paper.
Yeah. Well, the other neighbor has 5 cottonwoods.
Yeah. Then you get the little fuzzy
There's
ones
a
that
lot of
grow.
cottonwoods out there by you.
Yeah, yeah, but most of them with 2 neighbors there. One has 3, one of them dead. Maybe they took that one down, but and the other guy has 5, and one has 2 trunks, and one has 3 stems. They get inherently breakable.
And that's just the worst thing about a cottonwood, they ain't no good for nothing. Wood's no good to burn.
There's wood for panels.
And,
That's about it.
woods, once it dries out, it's just nothing to it. It just dries.
You know, they claim if you cut that tree and mark the top, and when you cut boards, if you put them up like for siding or anything, if you keep them with the top up, they won't rot. But if you turn them around, they will. That's kind of strange, but that's what they say.
Maybe you can't prove it right by me, that's for sure.
Fred?
Hi, Fred.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah?
How's everybody doing?
Good, how you doing, man?
Not bad. There they all go. Pretty all right, huh? Good. What's your name again?
Chad,
Well,
how you doing, Wes?
there's 2 stock answers to that. One is probably better than I deserve. The other one is, well, I'm still old. And I'm grateful. What's the quarter?
Hey, Chad.
How you doing?
Good, how you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Got some pizza up there, if you want some?
Actually, these are tacos where I got.
Yeah, 30
Oh,
gallons
okay,
of gas,
good.
and then I went over to the grocery store, to see if they had anything for free, you know? And, I think I did get a couple of things, but then I primarily went to the grocery store for the 2-day sale, Saturday and Sunday in this case. They were having, 12 packs of, all the pop. Buy 2, get 3 free.
Oh, yeah.
The,
Pretty good.
Yeah.
final, watermelon case, you pay 22 for 5.
You losing weight?
Thank you very much.
You losing weight?
Well, I go get it.
I was gonna say, I just noticed that you were pretty thin.
First thing I got the
Hey, Chris?
Oh, 70 pounds.
Wow, that's good.
So
Fuck, that's really good.
I didn't get
I lost
it
30.
there.
I'm still working on it.
First of all,
I started
35
October
gallons of
last
gas
year.
Ah, okay.
25 gallons of
I
gas
started a
in the
couple
car.
months ago. 3 months, 4 months ago.
10 cases of pop.
What's the secret?
Lemon juice and water.
Was,
That's my diet. Heavy on the lemon juice. And my appetite goes away.
I always carry my
But if I don't,
at home.
I'll start eating again and then I'll eat the whole pizza. So I gotta keep eating, drinking the lemon juice.
Yeah.
Right in head,
Yeah, they say
whatever.
survive on just water for quite a while now, like 3 days ago, and then eat, and then, I don't know. My brother did an all meat diet.
I done strict meat and vegetables for 8 months.
Yeah, I was on, just vegetables for, I don't know, about 4 months, about 3 years ago. I felt good.
Yeah,
lost
it was
weight.
good for you, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like vegetables.
Quit drinking pop.
You don't need to die on it, you wanna die on it.
Oh, go ahead, I don't really know the number and.
Jim, that's still not going well?
They got pneumonia,
Oh, he's got pneumonia.
both of them.
Jim and Joe both? Wow. Well, she was there last night, but she moved
Yeah,
out.
well, she said that
Welcome, and
yesterday
thank you
she
for
had
choosing
felt a little better.
freeconferencecall.com.
Then she
Your
woke
help
up
is
this
being
morning
offered.
and didn't feel good at all, so she
If you
ended
are the
up, I
host,
guess,
press
probably
please
went to
enter
like
your PIN
urgent
followed
care
by
or something.
Our urgent care where we live over there doesn't open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And, yeah.
Yeah.
And one out there by the flashing light on 127 don't open until like 4 or 5.
Until midnight.
And they're up until like midnight or something like that.
Yep, so, sound like.
Especially on Sunday, the only place you could have went would probably been Coldwater Hospital or St. Mary's Hospital.
So, yeah, I guess they're kinda laid up for a few days. Load them up with some medication, antibiotics or steroids or a bunch of
Both.
stuff.
I think they have a vaccine for pneumonia, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get that.
I
I'm
got
normally
mine last
not a
week.
vaccine type person, but
Yeah.
I don't think a flu shot or cold shot.
I did shingles.
I got
Yeah.
shingles
I
shot.
know, they say that's a pain in the ass.
Well, my dad had it, and you couldn't even
I
see
had
it, you see the commercials where the person has the scab going?
COVID's
My dad
been
didn't
going
even
around
have it.
again.
He had the shingles, and he said how much he did.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I got it 2 years.
Really?
I don't know, I got the shingles.
They got a cure for
2
it
years
now.
ago.
I got it, Jimmy here.
I had like.
Hey, Jim.
It was right here.
Thanks for stopping the music.
They were about that big around.
Had the shingles in it.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Jim?
We're doing all right, hanging in there.
She,
How you guys doing?
All right.
I went to the doctor, I didn't know.
Right on.
So I had a doctor appointment, I asked her, I said, do you know what this little rash I got?
I know,
She goes, you got shingles. I said, I did.
I was a scooter.
They didn't.
Did you ride it?
No, I ain't riding it. Little, there was like 5 of them, I had 2 on my back,
Too
one
cold,
on my shoulder right now.
I jumped out of the combine.
No, I never had it. I mean,
You
never
wait,
did.
gotta get back.
And it showed on TV and stuff, it was like really sore.
Mine was up, it was just like a rash. She goes, maybe you ought to get the shingles vaccine. So she told me to go to that, I didn't, I got it
They
yet.
said you had the chicken pox.
I did.
Until I officially.
But yeah, you run your kids around, they're exposed
Yeah,
to it.
hey, our kids got chicken pox.
So I can run
Yeah,
until
let 'em play
three.
together.
that was back in the, yeah, back in the
You're out there
January.
with,
Yeah, that's how you spread it.
Well, we did it.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
we did it with my son.
yeah.
What do you want to give me? I can read it all.
You can pick.
Well, give me something to read. Something I got memorized. Give me how it works.
You got that? Good job.
Did that a long, long time ago. But it's just cool to have it. Read along with it.
You're gonna finish it, and then I'll move it over.
Well, that'd been.
I will, if you need somebody.
See, I was thinking I'd be cured if I memorized it, but I'm not cured.
All the readings
But I
there.
got memorized it.
Right.
Alright. I'll just put it out for film.
Is this a lead meeting?
I'll keep up on yours.
Who's gonna give a lead?
All right, later.
Can I record you, sir?
Hmm?
Can I record you again? Cool.
So it'd be all different than the last time I heard.
That's the way they seem to
Okay, well, I think we're gonna get started here tonight. I'm Kevin, I'm an alcoholic. And I'd like to welcome everyone to Sunday night, Fort Recovery meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. And those of you who care to, would you help me open this meeting with serenity prayer? God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We're self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And I believe I've got a friend out here that has how it works.
Name's Tom, and I'm alcoholic. This is how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who is thoroughly flawed or packed. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely get themselves through this simple program. It's usually men and women who are constitutionally capable of being honest with themselves. They are such a fortunate, not at fault, they seem to be born that way. They're naturally incapable of grasping and developing a man living with the man who is honest. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional mental disorders, but many of them do recover at that capacity, to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like now. If you decide you want what we have and are willing to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. As some of these we bought, we thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us try to hold on to old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who is all power, that one is God. May you find him now. Half measure avails nothing. We stood the turning point. We asked his protection and care complete abandonment. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested to the program of recovery. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, and our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4. Made searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Made God to ourselves and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to God and remove all these defects of character. 7. Humbly asking him our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we honored and became willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so with injured them or others. 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying to his will for us and the power to carry that out. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening and there's all these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us explain over and over, I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We're not saints. The point is that I want to go on the spiritual line. The principle is set down and guides the progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter, the agnostic, And our personal adventures before and after may clear three permanent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our lives. B, that probably no human power to relieve our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he resolved.
Thanks, Tom. And that's my friend Chris, if he'd read the daily reflection.
All right, it's October 20, oh, Chris, alcoholic.
Hey, Chris.
October 26th, one ultimate authority. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. When I am chosen to carry some small responsibility for my fellows, I ask that God grant me the patience, open-mindedness, and willingness to listen to those I would lead. I must remind myself that I am the trusted servant of others, not their governor, teacher, or instructor. God guides my words and my actions, and my responsibility is to heed his suggestions. Trust is my watchword. I trust others who lead. In the fellowship of AAA, I entrust God with the ultimate authority of running the show.
Thanks, Chris. And you got, my friend Chaz has got promises for us.
Chaz, I'm a recovering addict.
Hi, Chad.
1, we are painstaking about this phase of our development. We will be amazed before we are halfway through. 2, we are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. 3, we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. 4, we will comprehend the words of serenity and we will know peace. 5, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. 6, that feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. 7, we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. 8, self-seeking will slip away. 9, our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. 10, fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. 11, we will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. 12, we will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
No.
We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
Thanks, Chad.
And, let's see, my friend Wayne has got the 24-hour day book today.
Wayne, I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Wayne.
October 26th, AA thought for the day. 6, I have AA meetings to go to. Thank God. Where would I go without them? Where would I be without them? Where would I find the sympathy, the understanding, the fellowship, the companionship? Nowhere else in the world. I have come home. I have found the place where I belong. I no longer wander alone over the face of the earth. I am at peace and at rest. What a great gift has been given me by AA. I do not deserve it, but is nevertheless mine. I have a home at last. I am content. Do I thank God every day for AA fellowship? Meditation for the day. Walk all the way with another person and with God. Do not go part of the way and then stop. Do not push God so far into the background that he has no effect on your life. Walk all the way with him. Make a good companion of God by praying to him often during the day. Do not let your contact with him be broken for too long a period. Work all the way with God and with other people along the path of your life, wherever it may lead you. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may walk in companionship with God along the way. I pray that I may keep my feet upon the path that leads upward.
Thanks, Wayne. My friend Fred is Bill sees it.
Hey, I'm Fred, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Fred.
I chose learning to trust. Our entire AA program rests upon the principle of mutual trust. We trust God, we trust AA, and we trust each other. Therefore, we trust our leaders in world service. The right decision that we offer them is not only the practical means by which they may act really effectively, but it is also the symbol
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
And my friend now is going to explain the token system.
Yeah, here at the Fort Recovery Sunday night group, we hand out tokens to recognize different lengths of sobriety. And we start this program the same way we live our lives, 24 hours at a time. Anybody here for the first meeting or just coming back, would like to start over, need a 24-hour token. Very good. Then we have monthly tokens. 1 through 11 months. Anybody have a monthly anniversary? Then we have 1 year. Anybody have a year sobriety? 18 months. And a year thereafter. Well, if you haven't had a drink or a drug today, you can start your life.
Well, thank everyone who read. Announcements? I don't really have any announcements. The only thing that I have heard that may be in the works, there may be a trip going up to Akron next spring to Dr. Bob's house, but I don't know that is set in stone yet. So there'll be more information on that coming. Anybody got any other announcements? Anybody got any announcements?
Yeah, I heard the date of the sausage and sauerkraut. Let me see if I can
Okay.
find it here.
I think it was December 16th.
Yeah, December 16th,
Third Tuesday.
which is fellowship from 6 to 6:30, dinner 6:30 to 7:30, speaker at 7:30. So that's some time. I'll have your side dish ready to bring. Coffee and cold beverages provided. I doubt if they have beer included in the cold beverages. Door prize 50/50 raffle, sobriety countdown. I heard it's, if you've never been there before, you want to make it there so you don't go hungry. All right, that's all I have.
Thanks, Al. Anybody else got anything? All right. Well, I guess that brings us to what we're here for.